Hey everyone, it's Sharon from Sharonatsea, and I have had multiple requests for a video on my budgeting envelope stuffing technique that I use. So I am here today to kind of tell you how I budget for a cruise. And now it will include just budgeting when you are on the cruise ship itself. It does not include your paying off your cruise, paying for flights to get to the port or anything like that. This is strictly for what you are going to be spending while you are actually on the cruise, on the ship and in ports. So here we go. All right, so here we go. It's very simple. There's only basically, I guess, 3 things you're going to need to do this. Some envelopes, and you can either use just plain white envelopes like this. You can just pick up some of these ones like this that your bank gives out. Either one. Then you're going to need some cash, of course, and some kind of pin. I use like a kind of a marking pin here, and then on the back, you probably can't see, but then I wrote some notes to myself in a regular pin. So that's all you're going to need. So now the next thing is there's going to be some variables. Everyone's going to spend different amounts. You're going to be going to different ports. Everything's different. So you need to make this what's going to work for your particular cruise. Some people may spend a lot more money than others. Some may hardly spend any money. So you can do it however you want and what's best for you. So one difference is whether you're going to be flying into the port or driving to the port. Okay, so first off, if you're flying, you're going to need to include in your first envelope what you're going to need at the airport for your snacks, transportation to the hotel or the port after, any tips at the airport, maybe dinner that night at that port before getting on the ship the next day, and then if you're going to be doing any pre-cruise sightseeing or anything like that, you're going to want to put that in your first envelope. And now if you're going to be heading to the port a couple days ahead of time and doing quite a bit of sightseeing, you may want to even consider doing an envelope just for the sightseeing as well. Do another envelope for that. Okay, so that's if you're flying. If you're driving, it's a lot simpler. You're only going to basically need, gas to get to the port, your snacks, drinks for driving, and that's about it, really. So there you go. So I'm going to use our upcoming cruise on the Carnival Splendor as a kind of a guide to show you how we do it. And we will be driving to the port, so that's why I'm going to go with that here. So my first envelope I have here is, I labeled it travel to the port. Real simple. So on the back I just basically put to remind me what I need. I kind of have it down, but I did this to kind of remind you guys what you'll need. So I put gas, and if you're going to use a credit card or debit card or something for anything, then that does not need to be included in the envelope. So on gas we're going to be using a card, so that's not going to be in here. And then we have our snacks, our meal as far as getting to the port, and our tips for the porter when we get to the port for our luggage. We'll be driving in the morning of, so we will not be doing a pre-cruise hotel stay. So then basically we just put, I kind of printed out some fake money for the video here. But basically you just put your money in the envelope, what you're gonna need. So for this particular cruise, I added, I figured about $40 for our food or drinks heading over to the port. It may not even be that much, but I always allow a few dollars extra to be safe. And then $10 at the port for the porter to take our luggage. We'll give them $10. We have a couple, we'll be probably checking 2, sometimes we check 3, but probably 2 large luggages to get on the ship. So that is getting to the port, our first envelope. Next, our second envelope is going to be our sail and sign card. Our sail and sign card is going to include anything that is going to be purchased on the ship. It's going to be anything at the gift shop, pictures you may purchase, any specialty restaurants you go to, any drinks or specialty coffees, alcoholic drinks, anything like that you buy on the ship will be on there. If you go to the arcade, you play bingo. If you're gonna use your card for the casino, then that's gonna want to be included here. We always use cash for the casino, so that's separate. But basically anything that you may purchase on the ship that's gonna use your ship card. Also your gratuities, if you did not prepay your gratuities, that will need to be added in here as well. So what we do is we take the cash. We actually pay cash. You can attach just your credit card to your sail and sign card and not have to worry about this at all. We prefer to use cash and pay for everything versus a credit card. So we give them cash or Carnival gift cards when we go on the Carnival cruise line. So anyway, so that's what we kind of put in here. And this particular cruise, for example, we have the drink package, so we don't have to worry about any drinks at all, even our specialty coffees, all that'll be included. So there's a big zero for that because that's already prepaid, which is nice. Gift shop, I'm allowing $100. We usually let our son buy a ship model if he hasn't been on the ship yet. So that's $32, and then the rest is just if we happen to buy something at the gift shop. Randomly, we will buy stuff here and there, but usually we don't spend that much at the gift shops. Let's see, then pictures. We have a lot of pictures, so we don't purchase that many, but if you're a new cruiser out there, you probably want to purchase a lot of pictures. So, and they do offer on Carnival now, they offer some picture packages, which are really a nice way to go, a lot less expensive, and a lot of the other cruise lines already offer those as well. Specialty restaurant, okay, so we are gonna allow $100 for pictures, which is way over. We'll buy 2 or 3 probably, so that's way over. They're normally about $20 each. We are not going to be eating at any specialty restaurants this time, unfortunately. We will not be going to the steakhouse or anything, so that's another zero for us this time. We allowed 50 for the arcade for our son. That's what we allow on every cruise for him, so we have 50 for that. And then we added another 50 just miscellaneous. So that is the money that we have allotted in here. Oh, and our gratuities. Normally we will prepay them. This time we did not prepay them. So those will be added in this as well. So this envelope is going to have some of our gift shop, our pictures, arcade for our son, and our gratuities. So that is all we have in this envelope this time for our sail and sign card. Okay, next, ports. Our first port will be Cabo San Lucas. And we have planned a kind of like a sightseeing boat tour. It takes us out to the arch. And so we booked that through an outside company, Shore Excursionaire. So it is not paid for. We paid a deposit. So we will pay the balance when we get there. So I have that money. I have $200 in here in cash to pay them when we go. That will include the tour, the balance of the tour, and tips. Then I added another 100 in for any maybe food or drinks we get after or shopping in the port as well, which we may or may not spend, but we have it if we need it. So there you go. We have all of our money here for Cabo in this envelope in cash. And once again, I do, in ports, unless you're going to maybe Alaska or somewhere where you would feel safe using a credit card, I really highly recommend you take cash to pay for things. And small bills. Always bring some small bills to pay. You don't want to pay with large bills because sometimes they may not want to give you change back in American money, or they won't have the change, and it's just have small bills. You can barter in places like Mexico too if you have small bills. Okay, next up is Mazatlan. Mazatlan, we are just going to be going to a resort for El Cid, I believe, for a day pass. So we have $150 in here for our day pass for us, and $100 for a taxi ride to and from, and some shopping. So, and our day pass includes all of our food and drinks there, so we don't need extra for that. So that is what's in this envelope here. And once again, everything I take is in small bills. I don't really take hundreds or anything. I take a lot of 20s, 10s, 5s, and 1s when I go to the ports. Okay, next up, we are going to go to Puerto Vallarta. And we are going on a really nice tour to Las Caletas. And that is a Carnival sponsored excursion. So we have prepaid for that. So basically, and it includes food and drink as well. So all we need is tipping money and maybe some shopping money after, if we even have time for that, for shopping. So I put $100 in here to take because we will be taking a boat ride over to the little island and back, and we won't be, close to all of our things. So we feel a little safer just having a little cash on hand just in case anything happens. So we have $100 in here in small bills that we will be taking with us to Puerto Vallarta. Okay, next we have our casino fund, if you can see that. We range, depending on each cruise, anywhere from maybe $300 to $1,000 we maybe spend at the casino each time, and it usually depends on who we're cruising with. If it's just us, if it's certain friends, some friends go to the casino more than others, some don't go at all, so then we usually won't go much. So it really just depends. This particular cruise, we have allotted $600 for the casino, And you know, if we win some, that gives us more to spend in the casino during the course of the week there. If we lose, then you know, we're at $600. But that's what we're allotting this time for the casino. And the casino, you can actually bring bigger bills if you want, because you can get change there. So that's not really a problem with that on the ship. Next, we have an envelope, which I just label tips. And in this is basically, it's not tips for all of our travels. This is tips that we use for just around the ship. Like when we order room service in the morning, things like that. You know, they come to our room, we give them a couple dollars every time they deliver something. You know, every once in a while we'll throw the bartenders a few extra dollars and things like that. You know, it just, sometimes you think it gets you a little better service. You never know. But anyways, so I go to the bank ahead of time and I get 50 $1 bills. This is all $1 bills that I kind of paper clip here and stick in the envelope, and we use those. And usually we come home with a few as well, but this is just for tips around the ship. Next, we have an envelope for traveling home. Traveling home, this, like I said, we're driving, so our gas will be put on a card. So this is just money. I put $50 in here for food and drinks on the ride home, which is more than enough. And then we will be paying for our parking at the port, but we will be using a card for that, just because it's more convenient. So we will be paying for our parking upon leaving the port as well. And last, I have a little envelope that I label miscellaneous. And miscellaneous, I usually just throw an extra $100 in there, sometimes more, it depends on where we're going, what we're doing. And it's all various bills, smaller bills. But this is just in case of basically an emergency. Say something happens, maybe we need something that we didn't plan on, or whatever the case is. You know, we always do have our card we can, you know, fall back on. We do bring a card with us on board for emergencies, but we don't like to use it, like I said, in ports and things. So we always have this little miscellaneous envelope just in case something happens. You know, it's always good to have a little extra cash when you're traveling. So there you go. That is my envelope stuffing sort of technique. Then I put all the envelopes together here, and I usually kind of paper clip them and just, you know, stick them somewhere in a very, very safe place in our luggage or somewhere. And it's always in something that we carry with us at all times. Do not ever put something like this in your checked luggage. Always keep it in hand at all times. So there you go. Hope this was helpful and helps you budget the cruise port. You can actually cruise really cheap and not even have to take a lot of money. I use this as an example, but you know, you can get on the ship and really hardly spend another dime if you don't want to. So there you go. But hopefully this will help you kind of budget for your upcoming cruise. And happy cruising.